Hello everyone, my name is Bean. Thank you very much for coming back to Voiceletter from Canada. How are you all doing today? And thank you very much for listening and spending time on listening to my voice. This week, actually since last week, I got so many questions in Japanese. It took like almost 40 minutes to answer all the questions. And of course I was starting something new, let's start this English conversation kind of thing. I decided to introduce English lesson a little bit to the radio show in Japanese version. But it's just my experiment, so I don't know how it's gonna turn out. But I was actually excited to try and see how people respond to it. So this is English exclusive radio show. You guys are so lucky because you guys understand English. Now you get to hear my honest opinions about stuff. Because I like to gossip in English, not Japanese, you know. Well, first of all, I'm going to start with a question I got in English, which I didn't do it in Japanese because I got too many questions in Japanese already. And also, it's kind of a serious, I shouldn't say kind of, it is a serious question I got. So I wanted to answer to this question taking my time. And at the same time, I want you guys to think how you think about this. Okay? So, I'm gonna start with this question. Well, this is the only question I'm gonna read and discuss. Do you have any advice on overcoming severe anxiety? Do you have any advice on overcoming severe anxiety? Well, again, this is really, really good question because I don't know how to answer it. If someone asks me this and that, and I can say, this and that. But this is a question I can't really answer myself yet. Because I don't know if we can overcome anxiety completely. The only thing I think we can do is try to have smaller anxiety attack, we have way to deal with anxiety. So I don't know if there is way to 100% overcome anxiety or cure it or something like that. The reason why I think like this is because this anxiety, the feeling you worried about something, that you feel nervous about something, probably comes from who you are, how you feel deeply inside. It's not like anybody can see it, but you feel it. It's real for you. But is it substantially real? I don't think so. It's something only happens in you and in me, in each of us. And that happens because of who you are, and thanks to who you are. So the only way to stop this or overcome is denying yourself or change yourself. And my question is that what you want? Is this what we want? Do you think that's possible? Do you think that's ethically correct? By the way, someone is fixing room downstairs, so you guys might hear a little noise from downstairs, and I am so sorry about this, because I feel it right now, because this person is nailing and stuff. Well, I'm so sorry if it's really disturbing. Oh my god. Okay. Whew. I'm getting a little nervous actually. Jesus Christ, I can hear it. Okay, I'll still continue talking, hoping you guys can hear it. Cannot hear it. So what do you guys think about it? Well, I responded to a person in writing like, I don't know if we can overcome anxiety 100% because the feeling comes from who you are. One thing I can tell you here is that what would you do if you see a person who is having anxiety attack in front of you? The answer to the question is something probably you are looking for. I'm sorry if I didn't answer your question. I don't know. But I think you know what you want to hear. What do you want to see when you are feeling like this? Right? Like you need maybe a hug, maybe you need a little cuddle, maybe you want a word like it's okay, maybe you need a word like, you know, you'll be fine, it's okay, you know, I feel the same way. So you might want to throw those words and actions to the person who's also suffering to make the pain a little bit less. Because I really think we cannot like fix this problem 100%. Like I worry a lot. I get also anxiety sometimes, but that's because I worry a lot. That's just who I am. A long time ago, I was watching a documentary called Happy. This documentary about thinking and finding what happiness is. And what's the definition idea of being happy? I really like the documentary because it's not really about trying to become happy or trying to stay positive, because overly positive is as bad as overly negative. Some people deny negative feelings and some people actually deny positive feelings. But for me, extreme choice is always not the right choice. So if you believe in negative feelings, that's okay. But I don't think that's actually as good as believing super positive feelings. What do you guys think? You might be agreeing with me or you might be disagreeing with me, but that's how I feel. You just have to balance everything in your life, not about, you know, money, expense and income, relationship, feelings, the sense of balance, like physically, mentally. The balance is really important in our life. So you can't have extreme choice in any direction. I think for me, it's important philosophy is have balance at any time, anywhere. But to do that, everyone needs to practice and everyone needs to find their own way in their own world. So about this Happy documentary, it was about the people who had like a severe problem in the past, tragedy in the past, and some people are doing same work, task over and over and over at work, but they're still smiling and they are singing and happy, and they tell us, the viewers, that they're happy. So the idea of the movie is why people feel happy and why people feel sad, even though it looks boring, even though it sounded like terrible. Why are they smiling now? Why are they Well, I want you guys to actually check the documentary if you have time. And you might like it, you might dislike it. It doesn't matter. For me, it's important to like pay attention to the idea of being happy or being sad. And one of the things that they're talking about in the video, in the movie, was simply some people just feel happy. And some people feel just sad. It's just who we are. It's just how our brain reacts, and that's who we are. Some people are good at making happy chemicals in the brain, and some people are good at making less those chemicals. So what happens is, if you can't make those happy chemicals, hormones in your brain, you have to try harder, of course, to make yourself happy. So even you do the same thing with others, you might feel less happy from what you do. Could be because of the way you think, could be because of who you are. So let's say there's like a glass in front of you and half filled with water. You know, the famous like experiment or famous like idea. So how do you feel about it, kind of thing? Is it half empty or is it half full? Right? Like some people might think this is half full, and I might say this is half empty. Even we are looking at the same thing, we feel differently. And how do you feel this glass? Or do you want to fill this glass with water? Or do you want to fill with a different liquid? How do you want to fill? Is it going to be water? Do you want to pour booze? Or do you want to let it dry out? And some people have water in the glass, but they might dry up faster. That means you have to pour more water if it dries up faster. You might be thinking that it's drying up faster, but how do you know if it's drying up faster than someone else's glass with half full or empty glass? So for me, it's sounds philosophical, but at the same time, this is the way people see themselves, feel about themselves. Everyone have different definition and way to deal with themselves, anxiety, emotions. So I really can't give you the right answer or any like way to overcome the anxiety. But one thing I can tell you is it's just who you are. And if you want to overcome anxiety, maybe you should think about how you want to be treated or how you want to like feel when you're having anxiety. And that idea will definitely help someone else, and this helping will help yourself. You might not be able to cure it, overcome anxiety 100%, but it's gonna teach you to deal with anxiety. At least that's how I feel. And speaking of anxiety, this week I was uploading this game called When the Darkness Comes every day, 6 days in a row. I actually shot this video at the end of March. At the end of March, and it's already May. The game itself was really short. It's free game. If you're interested, you can check my videos or go to Steam. It's free. Just play it. This game is about depression. What it's like to be depressed. What people experience. And unfortunately, it was only available in English. So, like many of my viewers who are Japanese speakers probably didn't understand. So I wanted to help those people out with my understanding of language, English. So I add Japanese subtitle almost like 100% of the time. I just add all the Japanese subtitle to the game, and that's why it took such a long time for me to upload such a short game. But now I think about it, I feel like I really like, I'm happy with myself. Probably not a lot of people are interested in it, and not a lot of people understood it. Even you have suffered from depression, this could be not the world you experienced. But I still was happy to play this game, so I wanted to share the world of depression done by this game developer to more people, even people who don't understand English. And the thing I can do is translation, so I wanted to reach more people out in a language that more people understand. So this game is about depression, and I was curious about this game, and I really wanted to play because I myself suffered from depression when I was younger, and that feeling, the idea keeps coming back to me. Is this because I have unhappy life? Is this because I haven't overcome my own anxiety issue or depression? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But after so long, the only conclusion I got to is it's just who I am. Depression and anxiety, this feeling, sadness, happen because of who I am. And I don't think I can actually change it. The only way I can actually deal with it is slow it down from happening. When it happens, I just have to know what to do. Or I just have to know how to avoid it from happening. So I cannot delete it, I cannot stop it from happening. I cannot cure it. I cannot run away from it. I just have to deal with it. But I think I'm dealing with it better than before because I kind of learned through other people and also educated myself. And this game, when the darkness comes, I feel like this game was very good typical example of what depression is like, especially let me talk about one scene from the game. A character was asked to go for grocery shopping and like get pop or something from the market. And the voice you hear is telling you to buy the pop, but make sure you avoid people because you don't want to see people or something like that. So you walk in a dark path and looking for market. Market is like right there, but you feel like you shouldn't go there because the voice told you not to go. So I was wondering about, okay, I shouldn't go to the market, but I have to go to the market. I don't want to see people. There are too many people at the market. So I was wandering around, and even I tried to actually go to the hidden exit, which was like fake exit. So eventually I had to go to the market with so many people, too much noise. I don't know how many people got this idea, but some people cannot deal with other people. They are so scared to be looked at. They really don't want to see other people, and this could be a sign of depression. They just want to avoid people. Noise is too much, people are too much pressure, too much noise. And I know at least one person suffering from this, like, I want to avoid people. And I can completely understand it. I used to have problem going out. I felt so safe and comfortable at home. Like, I still feel safe and comfortable at home, but it's not like before. Like before, I was so motivated to go out. Like I put on the clothes, makeup, you know, like, okay, I got cell phone, music, and I left my apartment and I walked like 100 meters. And guess what I felt like? Maybe it's gonna start raining, maybe I should go back. I forgot this, maybe I should go back. Maybe I just don't feel like going anymore. Okay, let's go back. Like, it's so weird that my mind shifted like so dramatically. I was so positive I wanted to go out, and once I went out, I got so scared, freaked out, and I returned home right away. And it happened to me. I didn't want to see people, I didn't want to be around people, and I really didn't know how to deal with people. So even they're talking to me, I kind of said like, yes, haha, you know, pretend I was listening, and like sometimes I overreacted for no reason. Then I just left. Like I couldn't deal with anyone, I couldn't deal with people. But again, like when the darkness comes, had this scene, you had to go somewhere you didn't want to go. The reason why is because you didn't want to see people, you didn't want to hear the noise. People suffer from this kind of thing, and this is probably one of the symptoms of depression. So there are lots of like typical examples of what it's like to be depressed. I didn't expect anyone to understand 100%, or I didn't expect anyone to agree with this game 100%, but my point was, this is a kind of example that people are suffering from depression, and I don't want you to deny that. I don't want you to think like this is not what happened to me. I don't want you to think like I don't care, I don't understand it. I just want you to see that this is what happened, and what happens to people who are suffering from depression. The important part is you know that this is real for some people, and that's what I wanted to do. So if you could see that much, I'm very grateful. And before I forget to mention this, actually this game was played by my moderator first. He was playing this game, and that's why I was interested in playing this game as well. So thanks to him, I found this game, or I could play this game. So if you are interested in more games that with this kind of theme, like about how you feel, what you experienced, it's good to check his channel and good to check his games. I find he's finding a lots of interesting games. They're indie games, but has very deep theme to it. Okay. Actually, I was talking right before this recording. My voice is dying, and I was teaching English as well, and I noticed my voice is dying already. And then a guy downstairs, a maintenance guy, is like banging walls and stuff, hammering. Sorry, but I'm gonna stop talking. Thank you as always. Thank you very much for coming back this week as well. I'm gonna definitely come back in 2 weeks. So if you are curious about what I'm gonna talk about, please come back in 2 weeks. And if you have any comments, questions, you know where to go. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys in next week. Or next 2 weeks. Bye bye.